Good morning, everyone. My name is Chantel Rivera, and the article I chose is Servant Leadership. So, a little bit about me. I was born on May 4th, 1995, and I grew up in Mora, New Mexico, with a little sister and a little brother. When I first came to college was in 2013, where I decided to major in biology and minor in chemistry. I also work in Dr. Linder's research lab where we study male infertility in mice, and I run cross-country and track. And after I get my bachelor's degree, I plan to apply to dental school. So the person that wrote Servant Leadership is Robert K. Greenleaf, and he was born in Terre Haute, Indiana, in 1904, and he died in 1990. Greenleaf was the founder of the modern servant leadership movement and also the Greenleaf Center for Servant Leadership, which was founded in 1964. He graduated from Carleton College, Minnesota, and worked for AT&T and the American Telephone and Telegraph Company. But the whole time he was working there, he believed that leadership style that the U.S. institutions possessed was not working, so that led him to retire early to begin the foundation of Greenleaf Center for Servant Leadership. To sum up the article, the term servant leadership was derived from Greenleaf's first essay called The Servant as Leader, which was written in 1970. And this essay was inspired by Hermann Hesse's story Journey to the East. In the essay, Greenleaf states that the servant leader is first a servant and is sharply different from one who is leader first. The servant leader makes sure that the highest priority needs of others are being served, whereas the leader first person is most likely to feel the need to first establish his or her own leadership and then later serve. Greenleaf believed that the servant leader is established by his own natural feeling of wanting to serve others, which then leads to the aspiration to lead. So with these terms being presented, Greenleaf came up with the best test question, which was whether those being served grow as persons, and do they become healthier, wiser, freer, more autonomous, or more likely themselves to become servants. His answer to that was that the result is unknown, and one can only lightly hypothesize the outcome, study the results, and re-examine the original hypothesis. Greenleaf believed that the natural servant is the most likely to persevere over the leader first because the natural servant is likely to tailor his hypothesis on what serves another's highest priority, while the leader first serves only out of the promptings of conscience or conformity with normative expectations. Greenleaf also believed that everything begins with an individual's initiative. So one must take the initiative to provide ideas and structure, as well as be able to accept the risk of failure, as well as the chance of success. He also believed that a leader needs to set goals, whether it's a goal for the group as a whole or a goal for just the leader. With setting goals, he believed that it excited the imagination of others and that it challenged them to work for something new. He also believed that setting goals couldn't be done without trust because not only is the leader taking risks, but he's asking the followers to accept the same fate. In the essay, he stated that to be a great leader, you must also be a great listener, and he believed that the sensible man would react to any problem by first listening to what the problem is and to any suggestions on how to address it. He was a little biased to believe that only a true natural servant would automatically respond to any problem by listening first. However, he also believed that a non-servant could potentially become a natural servant by learning the hard way to listen because the automatic response to any problem is to listen first. So some advice that I got from this article was that any company won't grow unless the people in the company grow with it. So in order to grow as a leader, you have to be a good listener and understand what your people are relaying to you. Here's a TED Talks that talks about servant leadership.
Because the industry was the same as most others, where the employees were trying to just please their bosses. It was all about pleasing the boss and not so much about the customer. And the problem there is that in a typical organization, you have your big boss, you have your staff member, and you have your customer. And if the staff member is forever bowing and groveling and scraping in front of the boss, which part of his anatomy is facing the customer? Enough said. So we as servant leadership really is a little different in that the leaders have to serve their staff. You have to serve their customers. And that's pretty much how it works. People ask me, how do you motivate all your staff? Well, I don't think I really motivate anybody, quite frankly. Servant leaders do not motivate people. They inspire people, and more importantly, what they try and do is to try and create a working environment which is conducive to people motivating themselves. And how do you do that? Well, you pay people well, you give them great training and development, you give them the tools that they need, you give them encouragement and support, you give them freedom of thought, and most importantly, dignity and respect. So next time you write a referral letter about Mavis in the admin department, don't say, well, Mavis has been working for us for 5 years. Say rather, I've been working for Mavis for 5 years. And through my help, I believe she's become a great employee who put service before reward. I would also employ her if I was you. We have a customer service policy, and that's important in our industry. We have a great customer service policy so that your people can go out there and deliver magical service. So this is our returns policy. So it says, when you bring back a product, it says, so you've changed your mind, that's cool. We still love you. Bring it back, no fuss, no slip, no ID, no passport, no unabridged birth certificate, no mother's marriage documents. If it's empty, damaged, half-used, it's not your vibe anymore, or you just need the money for movies instead, no problem. Or the packaging just clashes with your body. Or you made a terrible mistake. Whatever it is, bring back in, especially for business. So contrary to popular belief, the most important person in your business is not your customer. It's the person who is serving the customer. That's the person that is most important. And I think the problem with that is, if you are the only one that's being served by your staff, then you are the only customer you care about. That's a problem. That's a recipe for failure. And what about success then? What does that mean? Well, for me, in my old days, my early days when I was young and naive, success was about money and power and influence and lifestyle and fast cars and fast women and fast everything, basically. Now, with the benefit of hindsight and wisdom and experience and the gray hair that comes with it, it's now about making a difference in other people's lives. That's what it is. Okay, our vision in 2005 was about becoming the #1 leading chain in South Africa of beauty salons. The problem was none of my staff could relate to that. They didn't care if we were #1 or #100. All they wanted was to be inspired, to be needed, to feel worthy, and to be part of something bigger than themselves. So we changed that, and we created a new vision for what we call our higher purpose. And that is simply to serve and improve the lives of our staff and our customers. So in our business, the people out there who are doing the treatments, the beauty therapists and the nail technicians, they see themselves as more than that. They see themselves as out there helping people to feel good about themselves. They feel they are touching the lives of people on a daily basis. And that's no longer a job. It's a privilege. And if you want to be a great servant leader, you need to earn the moral authority to lead people to places that they may never have gone by themselves. You need to create a place of safety where people can speak freely without fear of victimization, and where they can speak the truth without blame or judgment. At the end of the day, serve the people who are serving the people. Thank you very much.
And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.